Hello everyone, this is Club 10M Plus's exciting new podcast that's here for you. We are all about stories, new developments and learning about individuals. Our hope is that you will join us every week to hear about our distinguished guests. We hope to inspire you, bring you laughter and make you reflect. Our guests come from all walks of life and primarily they want to share their stories. Not sure about you, but I love a good story. So Club 10M Plus have devoted their time to creating these podcasts, to sharing great ideas and stories and much more. So tune in every week to make sure that you don't miss out. It could be you next week. Want to know more? We want to hear your stories. So sign up and be our next guest. And welcome, Misty, to Pitch of the Panther. It's a pleasure to actually have you on the show. And I know that you are going to give us some really insightful things that we probably haven't thought about to date, especially along the lines of business and how we can be aware of our bottom line, our ROI for the future. So over to you, Misty, because I think you'll do a much better job of introducing yourself.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. It's really great to see you. And I'm looking forward to sharing this with others. And perhaps you will find great value in this and inspiration and maybe even some ideas. So, Hortus Environmental Design, I am the Chief Experience Officer. And our core offering is what we call business culture of health strategy. It's a big mouthful. I think I need to change the name a bit.
That's why I had you say it,
That's a wise move. I admire that. There are 4 pillars to business culture of health.
Okay.
And that is 4 areas that our businesses touch, affect, and reach into. And really, we're encouraging organizations to consider how their business practices and their products affect their consumers, how their business practices and products affect their stakeholders, how those two also affect the community, and how it affects the environment.
Wow. So that's a big pillar of hope where we have 4 that businesses need to be aware of, because currently they probably just worry about the bottom line. And I think from that point of view, talk us through each pillar and give us an explanation of each pillar so we really understand what these pillars are and what they actually do.
Sure.
Please.
So let's take a look at, first of all, how are our products affecting our consumer? Are they sustainably sourced? And are they actually healthy for our consumer? Is everything transparent? Is your supply chain transparent? And if the supply chain can improve, where can you improve it? This type of change doesn't happen overnight. This really is a long game. And really, what we're encouraging is to really take a very highly analytical look at where our products are coming from, how we are making them, and how they affect every part of the consumer journey and how it affects the consumer. That's
So
the
we're
first pillar.
So we're talking typically about, the first pillar about consuming. So that goes as far as tables and chairs, fruit and veg,
Absolutely.
anything that we consume in our society. So yeah, I mean, you're right. That's huge. All right, go on to number 2.
Certainly. So the second is, how do these affect our stakeholders? Because as we all know, I know I'm rather singing to the choir, is we're nothing without our teams, because our teams are the ones that help us prosper. And so if might be considered to be a bit of a radical idea, at the same time, it really makes sense. So, say, for example, as opposed to having health insurance, perhaps a company could have an on site clinic for their stakeholders, or taking it into the sector of having someone on staff who helps them with their finances, with their taxes, with understanding how to invest. Is really the idea we all grow strong, we all grow together. And this is I realize that those things that I just mentioned can be very intimate for people, and perhaps someone doesn't really want to talk about their finances. But given that, someone who does may inspire others when they start seeing that other people are having success or different types of growth. So that's an example of, or a few examples of how this strategy can assist our stakeholders and our relationships with our stakeholders. Because when we take
that
care of
is
our people, they take care of
yeah.
us.
That is really powerful because it is a circle. Everyone's intertwined. Because if you don't have the people coming in to do the work, then you've got no ROI. You've got no money coming in. So it's quite logical, really. Yeah,
You can
that
have as
makes
many
sense. So
zeros
women,
as you want in your bank account that way, right?
I mean, women can rule the world. We get this. Okay. So point number 3.
So the next is, how do our products and services affect our community? Here is something that is a very interesting case study that I read. And there is a course, Harvard University has a course on this. It may be on their online course, which is where I found it. But this is a great study on how a company actually changed what they were doing. And this company was not even concerned about their ROI. They simply wanted to make a change out of conscience. So Walgreens, I'm not sure how familiar you are or anyone who's participating is with Walgreens in the United States, but it's a very large pharmacy. And, you buy hair care, snacks, several different types of items there. So they decided that they were going to stop selling tobacco. And what they decided to do as part of their strategy was include the communities surrounding where their locations are in everyone quitting together. And I must tell you, they took a big financial hit, which I believe, if I remember correctly, within 2 to 3 years they had recovered from. But initially, tobacco sales was a tremendous amount of their ROI, but they felt that they were contributing ill health to their community, and they wanted to take responsibility for that and lead the way.
Bold move, but very good. I'm
Especially when
liking
that
that.
much money is on the line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very bold move.
Hmm.
How to upset your shareholders. Uh-huh. Okay, and point number 4. Well,
um,
pillar number 4, I should say. Say it properly, pillar.
Pillar point starts with a P, still works. um, the environment. How do our products and services affect the environment? So again, this can be something in terms of supply chain. Where are we sourcing our materials from? How are they being processed and handled? What is the waste material from them? Is it something that's sustainable? And these days, because let's just look at construction as an example. There are so many products and different types of materials that are called cradle to cradle. So at least, I believe it's 65% of a product must be recyclable or compostable, or be able to just be completely renewed to be able to qualify for, let's say, a LEED project. And these are the types of things, something that I always find awe-inspiring, and maybe not in the best way, is the fact that it takes 70 bags of trash to produce the materials that we ourselves throw away in one bag of trash. So
That
packaging,
is
it's astounding, isn't it?
Yeah,
It
it
really
is.
is.
It is. I think, and it's almost like that should be on every billboard. That should be the message that we're putting out for the environment. and just explaining, listen, even just going to the supermarket, you're absolutely right. The amount of packaging for one thing, I'm like, why is it packaged so much? I only need one thing on it and it's fine.
Right.
But I do like that my local supermarket has just gone to the one cellophane instead of 2 wrap cellophane when they cut the melon in half. So yeah,
Every little bit
I'm
helps because it
every
compounds.
little bit helps.
Mhm.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that your supermarket did that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
really an effort, because in mass,
yeah.
one little effort in mass makes a big difference, and
It
that's great to
does.
see.
Oh,
Something that
Misty,
oh yes, tell me.
I was just going to say
Excuse me.
we're we're out of time in
Okay.
terms of what else we can discuss, but how about a really good nugget? What would you tell us that we should really be doing? I mean, businesses, that's a whole thing, but if you own a business, this is great. If you don't, what can you do as an individual?
That's a wonderful question. Thank you for asking. Well, I think that we highlighted one thing the most recently is paying attention to even the amount of packaging you're consuming. That because everything is boxed in a box in a box, and the ironic thing in New York City, you get a bag inside of a bag inside of a bag if you purchase something sometimes. And I really think that those small efforts to reduce the amount of even packaging that we're buying or plastics, that is something that we can all do. I know that not everyone is very interested in this, but it is a way to really help, is to stop buying fast fashion, and also to, if you like thrift stores or if you like vintage clothing, the great thing about those is if you're in the mood and you have the time to actually look for things, you can find wonderful items. And they're very unique and they stand out, and definitely need some dry cleaning or some other type of cleaning. But it takes over 1,000 gallons of water to make one t-shirt. So those are things that are small things that really go a long way. I really do believe that we see an item in front of us, but we don't often see the cause and effect of that one item. And I'll just give you this as an example. It really stands out. It's very memorable. Seeing an orange packaged in a grocery store inside of a plastic container. If only nature could think of a better packaging system, right?
Love it. Love it. And on that note, we're going to say thank you to Misty. And it's been my pleasure to be speaking with you about something I'm passionate about. So thank you for sharing that with us. And I look forward to maybe our next chat. So thank you again, Misty. Appreciate
My
that.
pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Hello, everyone. This is Club 10M Plus's exciting new podcast that's here for you. We are all about stories, new developments, and learning about individuals. Our hope is that you will join us every week to hear about our distinguished guests. We hope to inspire you, bring you laughter, and make you reflect. Our guests come from all walks of life, and primarily, they want to share their stories. Not sure about you, but I love a good story. So Club 10M Plus have devoted their time to creating these podcasts, to sharing great ideas and stories, and much more. So tune in every week to make sure that you don't miss out. It could be you next week. Want to know more? We want to hear your stories, so sign up and be our next guest.